background noise. Hey, everybody, it's Joe, and Sean, and Rudy, and Javier's even here. Look.
Top of the solder to you.
Top of the solder to you. And Ron's missing, and we didn't plan this show at all, and it's a freaking mess, but happy Maypro, everybody.
Hey.
Repair Roundup, episode number 12, with our last-minute special guest, Sean from Action Retro.
Howdy.
Bit of housekeeping before we get started. Remember to lasso that like button and hit subscribe. Drop your messages and things in the comments and all of that stuff. So we're going to go around real quick and introduce everybody. Again, to start, I am Joe from Joe's Computer Museum. You can find me at Museum Joe on the Twitters and here on the YubTubs. Just look for Joe's Computer Museum. And you can also get cool, nerdy things like hundreds and hundreds of blue scuzzies from jcm-1.com. Next, to my left here, or my right, or whichever it is, we have Javier. Bark! Bark, bark! Bark, bark, bark! Javier is here in spirit. He is probably going to pop in a little bit later. This is his stand-in. See, his dog had to go to the vet. What's happened, though, is somehow, like, there was a mix-up, and Javier was the one who accidentally got the surgery. So he's got the cone on his head. So that's how that's going. And down here is Rudy. Say hi, Rudy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our show. And happy Maypro.
Yes, Maypro. And, of course, it wouldn't be Maypro if we didn't have the inventor or co-inventor or co-conspirator or whatever of the Maypro concept, Sean from Action Retro. Say hi, Sean.
Hi, it's me, Sean from Action Retro, and I'm not one of the co-people of Maypro. I'm just an early adopter.
There you go. We'll take it.
I'm a big fan and early adopter.
Awesome sauce.
He's a doctor?
You ended up getting a Kaypro like just before May, and it's like, we need to do a thing, or 2 or 3 of them or something like that. Yeah. And then suddenly we have a Ron. Hi, Ron.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
I guess you can hear me, or maybe not. I don't know.
We can hear you.
I just
before you got here. So
I just got back into town. I'm so sorry. This has been a crazy weekend. I have a friend that lives in St. Louis, just picking things up, and it's just been nuts. So,
Ron, when someone says get out of town, it's not literal.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So, super quick. I'm gonna do that thing right there.
What happened with Javier? Poor guy. He won't stop gnawing on his stitches, and now this.
Yes,
and
he was. All we know is that we got a message that he had to take his dog to the vet, and then he's like mute now, and this is the picture of him. Apparently, like they did the surgery on the wrong person, and he's the one who got a subtraction.
That is very unfortunate.
His wife's gonna be mad.
But you know,
back on track. Hi, Sean, special guest randomly. What you working on tonight, Sean?
Well, I am knee deep in an Apple IIgs Apple Color monitor, which is a little bit sick, so I'm recapping it.
Yeah.
What's going on with the color issues or wobbly?
Yeah, so it seems to not have all of the colors, and I have no idea. It was $20 at VCF East, so pretty good pickup. And I mean, it does work.
Can't beat it. I mean, when you calculate all the gas money you'd have to spend to go to Computer Reset to pick one of those up, I don't blame you for just traveling a few miles to go get one. No, seriously, they had a pallet. They had a pallet of them. When I went down there, they were like, "You're the guy that likes the Apple stuff," and I said, "Yeah." And they were like, "Well, we've got something to show you." And I went, and they were like, they had a pallet, and it looked like it had been like through like a mudslide. It was like a ton of monitors, and I was like, "Wow, these are really nice." What happened? And they were like, "Yeah, these were outside. These were just on a pallet outside for 20 years in Texas heat, and they may have gotten mud on them, And they're like, we have more outside. And I was like, oh no,
They got a
no.
shovel. They're
Thank
digging them
you.
out of the ground. Hey, find
Yeah.
another one.
Pallet for $20.
And then Dave Murray, like a month or two later, did a video where it's like he just took one out of the dirt and like,
He took
and it
two.
worked. Or he did two. Or
Like,
one didn't work and one did work or something. Yeah.
No, yeah, it went for parts.
Yeah. I was the same way. I always keep an extra Dave Murray around for parts. So.
This is completely random and silly, and I just wanted to comment on it. Kat says everything is legal in New Jersey except pumping your own gas. Anyway,
That's true. Actually, when I braved Pennsylvania to go to New Jersey, because you have to drive through the whole thing, the whole thing. We stopped somewhere and we got out and we pumped our own gas. We were in New Jersey proper and we pumped our own gas, and no one came outside and shot us.
You're on a list though.
I guarantee
You're on the list.
they've got cameras. They're like, don't not serve this guy. It's something. It would be, don't let this guy serve himself. Yeah.
Oh man. So what have you been working on there, Rudy?
Me, well, I had a friend who went down to Roswell, New Mexico, and looking for aliens, and he said the U.S. Army did a really good job, but he found under a bush. He brought me back this, and yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, so I use it. I'm using it to discharge power off my monitors now, and it's kind of working pretty good. But I bet you some aliens missing it now, but. Oh, well.
So you disinfected it first, right?
Oh, definitely. You never know what kind of weird alien juice is on there. Or human. I don't know.
You said you found it under a bush, and I was like, did Rudy find Moses? What happened?
That was Javier.
Oh.
And so, yeah, I'm working on on my Commodore PET monitor. It does the shakes. I think it's got an alcohol withdrawal syndrome or something going on, but it shakes. And so I use that. It worked great. And the cool thing about this board, I just wanted to show off. I don't know if it's really showing off, but all the values and the locations, the markings are on both sides.
Oh, nice. That's convenient.
So when you're pulling out a part, you know exactly where you're pulling, not pulling out 6 other parts to get to that one you wanted. So I'm working on that. And then I have an Apple III monitor, which was sitting in a garage for like 30 odd years or whatever, how many years. And I thought, well, I got my alien probe. I might as well take a look at that too. So I brought it home for free.
Nice.
Shocking. Oh, wait.
So I'm gonna alien probe that too.
So Rudy, you're gonna rename your channel to Rudy's Alien Probes from now on.
Yeah, sure.
Rudy's guns, I thought.
That'd be the second channel.
Yeah, wait, I misspelled alien. There should be an N in there somewhere. Anyway, moving on. Bad joke. Ron, what's going on in your world, buddy? What are you working on? Didn't you make a couple like video converter magics lately?
I did work on I did post an ASMR video where I just like soldered a bunch of stuff together at like a really weird camera angle, and somehow I guess I put the right YouTube special sauce on it because it ended up getting like more than like 5 views. So I was very appreciative. I'm very blessed. So I did that and put that out there, and I did a Patreon exclusive video just recently that covers this multi-year project that I've had, which is if I can spin around without showing too much full frontal male nudity, that I have been desperately trying to get like an LC 475 or a Quadra 605 or just something like, and just can't because people keep selling me dead machines like this one right here. You can see I mean it worked yesterday, guys. It worked yesterday. Powered it on. The kids played the kid picks. I mean the kids are 27 now, but they're totally kids just used it. What do you mean it's broke? So this has been my life for like several years trying to get a working Quadra 605 machine. Garth Beagle the internet's Garth Beagle was very kind, sent me a board I'm now in the midst of doing a retrobrite on the case and getting that all up and running. And I've got a couple of other projects. Actually, can I show something that I was doing? Let me see. I'm gonna have to stall for time because I've got to figure out how to actually show it.
Rudy, dance.
No, that's a seizure, Rudy. No.
Oh.
You've already got enough things that
Ah,
need anti-tremor medication at your home.
that's
So,
right.
all right, let me see if I can find this picture real fast. But it's I'm actually working on a couple of other projects because I just decided that now is the time to give some things back to the community, and I guess this is one of those times. So I'm going to switch over. Can I actually do this? I'll do this with OBS because that just seems like the worst possible way to do this.
And gone.
Yeah.
There-
Oh no, you're wrong. Hold on, I'm getting there. I'm there.
Y'all
I'm
come
finally
back now, I hear.
I'm finally there. But anyway, you know those PowerBook 500
Here, let me make-
little video adapters are really, really tough to find. So it's but if you do, you have one that's broken and you don't want to recap it. Basically, I just made like a simple little bodge board that allows you to use kind of an off-the-shelf 16-volt, power supply, and you can use two of them even if you are a crazy person. But basically, you can just pull your cable off of your deal, and you can plug it in, or you can solder it to the end of the board, and then you have a power supply for a Blackbird series machine.
That's cool.
And I was pretty sure I had a cool picture of the bottom of it, but that might be asking too much. So, oh well. But that's that.
Cool.
I'll have more information about that. I sent them off for prototyping. I actually submitted it all and then forgot to send the drill file. So the Chinese babies that make the PCBs for all these people on the internet that you know and love, they were like, "Hey, buddy, we can't start your project till we get the drill file." And I was traveling, so it was rough, and it was like a last minute thing to get it before they just put my order on ice forever. So anyway, it all came together. Been having fun doing some things. Made some other prototype parts for PowerBooks for people that people threw away their batteries a million years ago. They probably just threw them in a campfire somewhere because you know what? You only got the one Earth.
Ron, I have a question for you. There's people who want to know, will that work on a Kaypro?
Yes.
Perfect.
Anything will work on a. You just have to push hard enough.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Inquiring minds want to know.
But a Kaypro
Right.
won't work on anything because it's so heavy. When you put it on things, they break.
Yeah, just make sure that you buy a Kaypro 3 when those are available because I heard those are going to be amazing. Isn't that who's the company? Who's the company that was like, "Oh, don't buy this one. Wait, the next one's going to be amazing," and it tanked their company. It wasn't Kaypro, or maybe it was Kaypro. Who was it?
It was Osborne.
Oh, the Osborne. Yeah. Don't buy this one.
Wait
Buy
for
the next one.
version.
Yeah. That sounds like good marketing.
Did Javier have an operation? Yes. Of the worst kind.
Yes.
Cool. I got too
Joe.
much crap going on in my world. As I've showed before, people keep ordering blue scuzzies, and I love their orders. It's great. But I had this thing called a weekend, and then I didn't because I was building blue scuzzies, and then but I can't blame all these wonderful people who need blue scuzzies and who I am absolutely pleased to build and sell them to. I have to blame myself for screwing up the process I used to build these, and they took twice as long to build. So that's my own fault.
Yeah.
So I
Plus,
could have done yesterday, but I didn't.
Plus that time you had that you were talking about that you had the weekend, and then you couldn't feel your face, but it was actually a mild stroke. Come on, top 40. This is a top 40 joke. Come on.
What?
Come on. The weekend. The weekend. The weekend, the song. And I can't feel my face. It's a top 40 song, Joe.
1989, maybe.
I understand that they only have old white people music in Ohio, but I'm sure that the pirate radio stations coming across the border from Indiana will open up your whole world.
Oh, you're funny.
Joe, since
Anyway,
you're there,
back to the show.
I was gonna say, Joe, why don't you show your Kaypro?
Yeah.
It's in pieces back here because I had to clear it off my bench because I had obligations to people.
Sean, where's your Kaypro?
Which one?
He's got
Anyone?
one.
It's Maypro.
Oh, well, I have a whole bunch of them. Hold on.
Well, at least someone has one for Maypro.
And
I have
Sean
one.
and then Sean never comes back to the stream.
Okay,
Nice.
that's a wrap up. See you later, folks.
Yeah. Nicely done, sir.
We're just gonna
Happy Maypro.
I'll kick you all out. We'll just leave Javier's essence there, and we'll just stream that for an hour. Just dog.
You know,
Whoa.
Javier's Essence is still the worst selling Yankee candle.
This is very hard. Here's my one fully working Kaypro. Kaypro 2.
Which was the first Kaypro.
Guys,
How much does that weigh?
don't mess with Sean. Did you see how he was just like flipping that around like a sign spinner person?
It's nerd strength.
I guess, man.
But yeah, other than, I mean, that can be the segue into our recent Get section for Mr. Sean. You recently got that. Where did you pick that Kaypro up, man?
Yeah, so, well, I picked up one Kaypro at the VCF East swap meet, the last one, and it was dead. Power supply was dead. So I somehow found another one on eBay, and and that one had some screen issues and stuff. So I swapped the power supply into the other one, and yeah, I now have a fully working Kaypro 2.
Yeah.
And then I somehow wound up with a Kaypro 4-ish with some pretty weird upgrades in it.
Is it cursed? I guess is the
It's
question
cursed.
on everybody's lips.
It's cursed. Yeah. I brought it to VCF East and actually decursed it a little bit.
He cursed it.
Nice.
It's called an exorcism.
Yeah.
And
Scandals.
are you going to be making a video or presentation for Maypro on that?
I sure am. Yeah. So, well, not to give too much away, but I found this Kaypro on eBay, and I was my curiosity was piqued because I saw in the picture, one, it had the reset button relocated from the back to the front. So I thought, somebody must have like really used this Kaypro enough to need that reset button right there. But it also had a hard drive, and it's a Kaypro 4, which I don't think that was ever an option. And the screen, they showed it powered up to an Advent Turbo ROM boot screen, but that's as far as it would get. So we got this Kaypro, and yeah, it would power up, but only go to that screen. So I opened it up, and it had a bodge, it had a breadboard on top with bodge wires going everywhere to all sorts of chips with lifted legs and stuff, and a whole bunch of burned out capacitors on it. And yeah, we took it to VCF East and actually made a lot of progress.
Yeah. Cool.
That's always what you want to hear, because it's so many of these projects just go sideways on you that it's rough. It's like, I just don't have like 6 years to like fix this VIC 20.
Yeah. I was going to say, you have seen Steve's Quadra, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that at least kind of lived recently for a little while. Like,
I think it's Steve's white whale.
Yeah, it's weird. It was kind of like one of those things where somebody's in a coma for 30, 40 years and then wakes up for like 2 days and then goes back to sleep. It's just, I mean, it makes great television, but I'm so frustrating for poor Steve. I just, probably one of those rabbits came over and was like, that this is, oh, well, then it's back alive again. I was going to say one of those rabbits came over and just gave it a little nibbly. And they were like, Dad is spending too much time with his new son.
Actually, I heard that Steve put the board in his oven, and that's what fixed it. Correct me if I'm wrong in chat, Steve, but I'm pretty sure that's what you said, right?
Wow.
No, it's not.
Cooked it?
I was just making that up.
Oh no, I was gonna say because he put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and like half its ass was hanging out. So I was very quickly checking Twitter to see if there was a picture of like it was in the oven, but like half its ass was hanging out again. Because just for like you don't want to like tempt the gods. You have to. It's the methodology. You got to do it the same way every time, I guess. I don't know about you guys, but I know I like when I reassemble a PowerBook. I I light my Javier candle. I watch a couple. I say to myself several times, "Hey, everybody, it's me, Colin. How's it going?" And then I begin my repair. It's just my
Well, you
the way
mentioned
I do things.
the candle, and the Kaypro didn't start working at VCF East until Javier gave me a candle, and I put it next to the Kaypro, and then put the Kaypro back together, and it worked. It booted.
What, the candle worked?
The candle got the Kaypro to boot.
The candle worked.
I thought
That's
the
amazing.
Kaypro got the candle to light up.
Yeah, then the candle did spontaneously light up.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's related or not.
Yeah.
He put it right next to the Reefa, and the Reefa blew, and the candle went, and it was a VCF miracle.
What kind of reefer? Was it a reefer cap or a reefer?
Oh no!
No, he said reefer.
Let's not go
Yes,
there.
the reefer cap.
Yeah,
Dude,
the reefer.
not all U.S. states have that yet. It's only
Jersey
Colorado.
does, and that's where
No, Joe, they all do. It's just not on the like above board everywhere. It's not like there's still like a couple people in Massachusetts that are just like, what are these jazz cigarettes I keep hearing so much about? We just got aspirin, but I hear these are amazing.
Oh man. Yes. Steve says it's legal. So that's why it happened. Anyway, moving on. Away from the jokes.
Guys, are we going to talk about Sean's haircut?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Sean, this is 100%, like, most of the time I spend this taking the piss, but I do like your haircut. Your haircut looks really good. You have, like, this is a good look for you. Like, this is you're finally going to get that call back from ZDTV look.
Well, I'll tell you what, I hate getting haircuts more than anything else in the world. So this is my one haircut this year.
Yeah.
And so
you made it count.
I'll be back on the show next year after my next haircut.
And the audience won't even know. It'll be, you got to take a picture every day if that's the case.
It's like
So you
me.
can do
I
like
hate blow dryers, so I just said cut it all off.
But what I do, I take a sample hair once a week, and then I line them up on my wall.
Looking for length.
So I can.
wow.
And you keep track of the length on your Kaypro?
Yeah, exactly. On my Kaypro. I wrote an app in Basic. It's called hairl.bass.
So I got a question, since we're talking again about Kaypros. How do you get your software onto the floppy disks for your Kaypro? Do you have some kind of method
Yeah,
to
that's good.
transfer your data?
Figure out.
I have a potential answer for that.
A Blue SCSI?
And the answer is use a GoTech.
GoTech. All right.
Yeah. The thing with Kaypros is that the vast majority of them didn't have hard drives. So they all use CPM. So when you combine those two things together, it's hard to get usable hard drive size storage for a Kaypro. CPM is weird in that it doesn't have drivers per se. It's got that little BIOS file, which is like part of the boot sector or whatever.
Right.
So it's difficult to modify. Well, I don't want to say difficult, but it's not pedestrianly trivial, so to speak, to modify CPM on your Kaypro to get it to recognize some new piece of hardware. A new block device, for example, for it to be able to for CPM to load things from.
I just have a USB flash drive. I just plug it directly into my Kaypro.
Yeah, dude, just plug it right in.
I mean, eWorld just comes right up.
He wired it directly to a RAM chip, and it just goes from the USB drive to RAM.
There you go.
With the wire wrap tool.
Completely bypass drivers.
Do not. Wire wrap's great. But seriously though, yeah. So the thing is that because they don't have hard drives, and the ones that did have hard drives had like weird MFM or RLL drives that were all funky, or the ST506s and things that they just aren't modern. There aren't modern emulation options for. There's just not like hard drives you can really put in them. So what do?
Right.
Well, you use a series of tools in DOS along with floppy images on a USB stick with a GoTech or a Lotharic or an HCX or one of those floppy emulators, and just emulate it that way. And when you do that, you just download from the internet, put it on the image, stick it in the front of the machine, and
Nice.
So, I've watched some pretty good videos on exactly that topic. I'm trying to remember who did those videos. There's a whole series of Kaypro videos and a GoTech.
Somebody, I think, was his name?
His name might have been Joe the Hat Guy.
John Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah, I think it was Joe the Hat Guy.
Joe the
Yeah.
But I did 3 videos. Guys, God, how many years ago was that? I don't know. 20?
A while ago.
A billion? I
3?
don't know.
Is that the same year that the install OS 2 came out?
Mm-hmm. Seriously, if
video ever.
If OS 2 is so great, why is there no OS 3? I'm just
because all you needed was Warp 4, and that's all.
I guess.
Warp 4. But yeah, I'm working on a video for Maypro to talk about the Kaypros a little bit more. So
Nice.
Cool stuff.
That's good.
Love it.
Mom said I can't bring any more computers home, so I'm stuck. It's like if I can gut. So basically, I'm at the point where I have a Mac 2. If anything I want to bring home fits inside the Mac 2 case, I can bring it home because it's basically like a Coke mule for old computers. So you open it, it's like, and all the goodies come out. So it's like you keep taking it back and forth to work. Yeah. Just can't keep it working. Gotta keep. I know it gets a little heavier each time, but that's okay. Just ignore that.
Justin D. Morgan, you're right. The Kaypro uses a Z80. Z80, baby.
Mm-hmm. It's a neat machine. I know that I used to work at SIU many years ago, Southern Illinois University, famous for Dennis Franz and Jenny McCarthy. And Melissa McCarthy. I don't know how that worked out, but it did, and probably academics as well. But when I worked there, we actually surplused like 4 trillion Kaypro 2s, just because a lot of departments used those kind of in the early days, and then they ended up just being warehoused and just hung around forever. We had a huge sale, just got rid of all of them.
Wow.
And
it was no, I didn't, because I think at the time I had a compact portable and I'd already thrown my back out twice. And I couldn't risk it with a Kaypro. So,
but dude, they're only 38 pounds.
Yeah, it's luggable, but at the same time, it's, have you priced back surgery? It just wasn't worth it.
Well, you see, what I did was I bought those very expensive Mac Pro wheels, and I put those on my Kaypro, and then I put a saddle on the top of it. So it actually made traveling a lot easier. I just on top, I don't have my hat like you guys have right now, but I put my hat on and I ride the Kaypro into the sunset, and it's you can put there's a lot of storage in there in a Kaypro.
Absolutely.
Lots of beer in there, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think about like earlier, like when you went off camera, I was like, he's probably putting on a back brace like right now. If he's going to carry it back, he's going to take proper precautions.
Well, actually, my back brace is made from another Kaypro.
Oh my God.
The metal skin and
just really conserving. It's like a total conservation effort.
I'd like to get a Kaypro, but I don't know. The prices are just going crazy on everywhere.
Yeah.
Like everything has just gone nuts for some reason.
I think there was 1 or 2 of them for sale at Vintage Computer Festival Midwest last year. That kind of sat on desks for a while, and but by Sunday were gone. Like they finally found the right buyer. Mm-hmm. People that were just, I guess, like love those machines. There was a Kaypro 1 for sure that was on display there. I can't tell you if it was Peggy Hill's original, but it may have been. Somebody reminded me of that today. I was like, because I was asking, I was like, who on my friends list is like a Kaypro person? Because somebody actually they were like, well, don't forget about Maypro, and I was like, that's funny. and then I was like, oh wait, this is a real event. Like because there's no centralized sort of thing for it, so it's kind of tough to maybe figure out like where the content is. I mean, it's just the first,
Mhm.
so yeah, we'll give him time to get some stuff cranked out. What? I'm just gonna be patient. I'll check back in on May 32nd and just see what's been posted. Throw out some likes, some subscribes, maybe even ring that bell. We'll have to see.
So, speaking of Maypro,
Hmm?
let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah,
I thought we were.
So,
I love it. like a more formal conversation about
Maypro is
Maypro.
May, where we do Kaypro content, just like Martintosh, but for Kaypros. But seriously,
It's gonna need better patter than that, because if your lead in for your event is like, hey, remember how there's other events? We're an event too.
dude, I manage, manage. I'm involved in poorly enough of those things, so like even one more is like no. I can't manage so many things.
I know, Joe. I know how you really wanted to get Altair Tuesdays off the ground, but I was like, dude, that's just a terrible name. You need to workshop that again. We got to come back.
I thought it was.
There's got to be a better name.
Tuesdays.
Like what was it?
I thought it was Timex Sinclair Tuesdays.
Oh,
No, that's Sinclair Saturdays.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, because there's Z80 based, right?
Yeah, I was like Cirque Live Sundays, something. We just got to workshop it, and I think that we'll finally arrive at like
My
whatever
people, your people.
Yeah, it's. I'm just saying, it was a real love day, kind of like amount of effort that the marketing people put in.
Meaning nobody. It's a very loose, random idea that we had. We're going to see what happens, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's how I do everything. I just throw it out there, and if people they're like they don't immediately take it as a joke, then I guess I'm on the hook.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Let's
I
talk
was like,
about.
I'm making a YouTube channel, and people didn't laugh, and I was like, shit, I guess I'm on the hook now.
That's off the hook.
Yeah.
So
VHS.
Actual question.
Yeah.
Here's a serious Kaypro question. What's a Kaypro good for overall? Running CPM stuff, basically. The cool thing about the Kaypros is that they're all open on the inside. So you can open it up. You can hack the heck out of it if you want to. Like if you want a nice, like luggable vintage machine that allows you to do stuff that you could do with the RC 2014, but it's an original machine, that's kind of what you want. Because in theory, you can hack CPM to support other stuff like I talked about and do things like that. And that would be a really cool thing to do with the Kaypro, is take some of the sources from the RC 2014, because the RC 2014 is another Z80 machine that runs CPM. That's a new hobbyist project. But they've got code. Like, can you take that code and mod it for like a direct SD card and somehow hackadoodle that with the original CPM BIOS for your Kaypro, and then have that there? You know, that I think that would be an interesting thing to do.
I think this is a great form factor for CPM too, because this is my first real CPM machine. And I mean, it's got that screen. The screen was just crisp and sharp and green. And, you know, as an intro to CPM usage, I mean, I can't think of a better thing. An Osborne is like...
Yeah, I think that was, back in the day, that was part of the thing where people were like, you know, hey, like, you know, I've got money. I was going to buy an Osborne 1, and the Kaypro 2 came out, and it was like, oh, it's dual floppy, 9-inch display. Yeah, it's text only, but at the same time, it's like if I'm running CPM stuff, I don't really need. There's no graphics. Forget it. So yeah, I mean, it was just such a beautiful machine. It was nicely put together. Everything, like that little hinge kind of action and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I could see why people loved it. I mean, it weighs an arm and a leg, but
and a torso and head.
Yeah, I mean that's how luggables
That's
kind
how
of
they
were
all
back in. Yeah,
that's how machines work.
yeah,
One of the biggest things about the Kaypro that made it a huge hit in the CPM world was you have to go back and think about when these computers came out in the time frame. They came out, they were your like business oriented professional machine, right? Which everything ran CPM. You have to think of the CPM as the DOS before DOS came out. So you had one application that would run on any CPM machine, make portability easy, blah, 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 blah. But the big thing about the Kaypro is when it came out in 83, 83, 84, 83, it also came with like $1,800 of software bundled with it for free. So not only did you get this machine with CPM, but it also came with WordStar and whatever WordStar's spreadsheet application is that I can't remember off the top of my head, Super Sheets or something. And because it came with all of that, you're basically getting like $5,000 worth of computer for $1,800. And so the Osborne couldn't compete either in form factor or design or package. So the Kaypro instantly became a huge hit. Of course, what killed the Kaypros, or pretty much all the CPM machines, was DOS and the IBM PC form factor.
yeah.
But they were pretty much the number one business-oriented computer for a very long time. Well, in the scope of everything, like 6 or 7 years, until the IBMs took off. So it was. So you're like, well, why should I want a Kaypro? It's a piece of history, man. It's a cool, nifty little CPM machine that if you use some little prestidigitation to get software to it, it'll run any CPM application. And they're also tanks.
Yeah.
Not just literally, but figuratively. They're indestructible. Well, except for Sean's in his bad power supply. But whatever. Like I have my Kaypro is, like 40 years old and has had, the only things that have ever gone bad with it were the floppy drives. But like the flop, you're going to use floppy emulators these days. Original CRT, original power supply, original board, original everything on the inside of the machine, and it just works. They're like Apple IIs. They're impossible to destroy. So you plug it in, you turn it on, you can play around. You can get started and live that kind of CPM world. Now, a lot of folks, I'm kind of going off of my soapbox here, but I'm doing my Maypro thing. Maypro. A lot of folks are like, it's CPM and it's boring and it's blah. I'm like, but like the Apple II's interface is any easier to use, or a DOS computer's interface is any easier to use from that time frame? They're all text based, right?
Well, the big selling point of units like the Kaypro is that people, back in the day, there was no internet like we have today. You can VPN to work and so on. So people were getting tired of working in the office late hours. So with the Kaypro, you could actually bring it to work on a spreadsheet or a word processing document, excuse me, or hook up to a mainframe, whatever. And then when you're, get your reports done, you can go bring it home and continue your work over the weekend or, after dinner. Once you once you watch the Benny Hill show or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. It was like, wow, it's portable. I mean, this is right now we have a computer in our pockets all everywhere, but back in the day, that was a big thing. And CPM was, wasn't for games, it was for business. And everybody who had serious business had a Kaypro. Just like if you're a big business, you had a mainframe. Same thing, right?
Yeah, that's true. And actually, the cursed Kaypro board that I have was used for exactly that. This guy took it back and forth from California to Saudi Arabia, where he was an IT contractor, and it's got all kinds of correspondence and stuff, and political letters about the original George Bush administration, how it impacted his IT job in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow!
Wow,
amazing! Yeah, I could just imagine.
That's crazy.
Actually, I kind of wanted. I thought it would be funny if I took a Kaypro as carry-on luggage on a plane, like he used to do. How would that fly today? Like,
yeah.
Well, it's fly kind of like this because of the weight.
Yeah. Well, you just have to put the aisle in the middle of the plane between the wings. It has that warning inside the Kaypro itself. Make sure it's balanced on a plane.
Could you imagine people opening it up and saying, How do you turn this thing on?
Yeah.
Freaking TSA is so incompetent these days. They probably just think it was a bomb.
Yeah,
Except for one time that somebody actually tried to put a bomb. Wait, that's unrelated. Never mind.
Joe, you can't talk like that. You're never gonna get.
Oh,
You're never gonna get through TSA pre-check ever again.
no.
Yeah, now there's 2 lists
Well,
here,
anyway.
in addition to Ron's gas list.
Yeah. Mine's not. Well, I don't know. It's at least the mob's just in Jersey, so I just so I'm okay.
Does the Kaypro have a basic? Was there basic available for the Kaypro?
Basic, yes. Yes, later versions of the Kaypro came bundled with a version of Microsoft Basic. You just type in Basic at the prompt on the disk, and it loads, and you can do whatever you want. Yep. Mm-hmm. You can also just, again, with some of those processes, you can just go download any CPM version of Microsoft Basic, put it on the disk, load it, and it runs. It's fine. Yep. That's the thing about all of those CPM machines. As long as the application you're using wasn't explicitly written and targeted for the funky quirks of that specific machine, it will run on literally all of them, just like any DOS application will.
But I will say that their version of Lemonade Stand is it's not very good. I think that's what killed the platform, actually.
I mean,
I don't know. The version of Ladder is made up for it.
What?
The version of Ladder is kind of made up for it.
Yeah,
it's a good version.
But yeah, I think the Kaypro is a really nifty machine to get into, for getting into those old luggables and stuff. I mean, they're easier to find. They're going to be more reliable. They're more fun to play with, in my experience. So, what's that? What's what?
It's not easy to find unless you got big, deep pockets.
Well,
I'm looking for one, but I don't want to sell my house and my car.
Just sell the car.
And an Osborne.
If I sell the car, I'll get the floppy disks.
Oh, darn.
Well, if you buy them on eBay, the prices are ridiculous because anything vintage, people are like, oh, I struck a gold mine. But when I went to VCF East, I bought, someone's just loved Kaypro that he had for all these years. He's like, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to take care of it? And it was $100, and it came with all the software and all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
Where you go?
Oops. Oh, wrong button. Buttons. Eric is asking, does it have built-in RS-232? Pretty much all the Kaypros did. Yes, they all had at least one built-in serial port. Many of them had 2 serial ports, a parallel port, and some of them, depending on which universal version of the universal board you had, even had a built-in modem and real-time clock. And those were just options that you could purchase on the machine. Folks are saying that there's a Kaypro for $100 in Ohio, but I already have one.
I don't have one.
Talking about your Kaypro, I think.
Yeah.
They're making offers.
Yes. They're trying to sell my Kaypro out from under me is what it is.
I'll buy that for $100.
Funky, weird.
I find some Kaypros. It's like $3,000, but no keyboard. It's the keyboard's missing or it's broken or whatever. It's like
that's like a Franklin Ace 2000 without the keyboard. You can't use it.
But
yeah,
it's rare.
Still, you guys, I know what I have. I put that price out there. I know what I have. That's my number one thing. Those are my favorite people.
50-pound paperweight.
Yeah.
But yeah, my Kaypro is really funky. It's mine's a Kaypro 1, which was the last Kaypro released. Go look at their product list. It is an absolute nightmare. It's like the 2, then the 4, then the 2X, then the new 2, then the 4X Pro, then the Roby, then the 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Because they're dumb.
I always heard that they thought Apple II sounded good, so they wanted to start with.
Yeah, they wanted to kind of start with it. It's like,
yeah. That's true. You can't.
Apple II, we can't sell Kaypro 1. People are gonna be like, "Oh, it's not as good."
Right. You're gonna sound like Johnny Come Lately. It's
So
it's like the prices of. If you guys looked at prices of dumb terminals, like from the 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, I've been trying to find
what. I'm looking for one, like something from vintage, from that really funky back, that's swoop, whatever.
like from a Nova or something.
ATM terminals.
But it's like if you can't find them. If you do, there's no keyboard, or they want like $5,000. It's like, I know you think it's worth like the same price of gold, but
Yeah, there was one of those at VCF East this year in the consignment. I think it sold for like 500.
Oh wow.
Don't even know if it worked.
That's a hobbyist product. You can spend some time and make it work. No? For 100, maybe?
Yeah, I think people that's what they're like. Oh well, this is worth that because I guess their brain there's no such thing as item decay. So it's maybe.
If you were to buy this new in today's dollars, it'd be $16,000. This is
Listen, you guys, I bought this Schaefer collectibles book in 1994, and it has got the prices in there. I'm not going to accept a penny less. I know what I have.
Well, everybody knows that vintage computers are just the new Beanie Babies, right? I mean, the market's going to crash at some point. And then we can just start buying junk again.
That's why we're all waiting. That's why we're all, and this is your public service announcement to everybody listening. Get in all the groups and share amongst your groups, because that is where you get the deals. Go into swap meets, go into ham fests. Sometimes some of those can be overpriced. Going on, your Facebook groups and your Discord groups and Tinker Different and
Joe, why are you giving away my secrets?
Yeah,
Joe, that's how I buy all my machines. You SOB, you're giving away the formula.
But okay, now say that again in the redneck accent. I want to hear that.
I know what I got.
Yeah, there you go. It is now decreed. We're gonna have a vote. Rudy, Ron, me, and Javier. We're gonna have a vote on every episode of Retro Repair Roundup from now on. Ron has to speak in that accent the entire time.
Listen,
I vote yes.
I'm so Joseph. I'm so sick of this bull hockey. You're constantly selling on this channel. Anyway, everybody, go ahead and check out the website. Go ahead and order all of the supplements. The supplements are going to keep you young and healthy forever. Anyway, we're gonna. Sorry, I don't. It went all Alex Jones. We're gonna go ahead. We'll be back after the next few minutes. I do Ben Shapiro, but I don't have 2 bricks.
Anyway,
I figured out. Hey guys, if you've been noticing that I've been having like a fit here, it's because I just joined the steel case chair generation, and there are a lot of knobs and stuff on this. It's really cool. It's like playing a Moog behind your back.
Stop playing with your knobs.
There's a ton of knobs on this thing, but I think I finally figured out how to like not be pitched forward where I feel like I'm going to be like flung into my monitors at any moment. So good times.
There's a family channel. Don't be playing with your knobs.
I know.
the video's cut off at the bottom. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't see any of the saucy parts.
I don't want to. Moving on.
Moving on. What's next on our list? Joe?
Way beyond that.
Way beyond Kaypro.
Way beyond that. I did want to talk a little bit about something that I am working on. A little repair. It's not Kaypro related, but I did want to talk about it a little bit because I wanted to get this off my chest because it's been bothering me for a freaking month. So I've been working on a replacement. Memory. See, I can't remember because it's not working yet. A replacement memory card for the Franklin Ace 2000.
Whoa.
What?
That's nice. That's a pricey doodad.
Yeah.
As they say in the business.
Yeah. A lot of those, see, the thing is many of the 2000s came and it only had the 64K card, the 80 column card, right? Mm-hmm. Some of them had the 512 card, but it's relatively rare, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And Javier, bark, who isn't here, he suggested to some folks, it's like, hey, Joe, maybe Joe can reverse engineer this. If somebody's got one, send it to him. He can copy it. I did the whole process and all that stuff. So now I've got one. But during this process, I'm thinking, well, I need my own Franklin Ace 2000 to be able to test these cards before shipping them out to people, right? And luckily through this, I'm Mr. Luck. I don't know. Crap happens to me. It's always good. I don't know why. Falls over dead, breaks leg. So about 30 minutes north of here, an Ace 2000 with the 512K card in it came up for sale on eBay. And the folks in the Ace computer community was like, Joe, this is near you. Are you going to bid on this? Yeah. Everybody don't bid on that. I mean, you bid if you really want it, but like don't, so I can have it. So I ended up getting it for like $300 less than they normally go for. I get this Franklin. I'm like, yeah, finally I have a machine. I can test my prototypes on it. I can get these out to the community, and everybody can have 512K. You get 512K, and you get 512K, and you get a book deal. That's the joke, right? Anyway, so.
Don't feel too bad though. Joe donated the difference to the ASPCA, so it was really wearing on him, and so he made an anonymous donation.
Yes, I donated it. I donated
to set things right with the universe. So
hey, because I donated to the SPCA, Javier was able to get his surgery, and that's why he has to. So anyway. So I get this machine and it's having these issues and these problems and all this stuff and whatever. And I start fixing this Franklin, and I can't figure it out. And for some reason during the process, I decided to use a hot air gun to get a chip out or something. And I delaminated the PCB. That can happen sometimes with certain older PCBs or lower quality ones. You'll heat it and it'll the whatever it is inside will outgas and actually pop the board apart. And I'm like, oh no! And it died. So this machine had a random issue, but now it doesn't work at all. It's taken me a month, but a month later of going through it and probing pins with the oscilloscope and trying to figure this out, because there's no schematic. It's not like I can look into schematic and be like, well, this connects to this, and so if it's doing this, it's probably going to be this. Or I had nothing to follow. I'm just guessing what these chips do based on the Apple II schematic, and that it might be the same thing. I don't know, and it's not. They're totally different. I finally was able. I just got to the point to where the symptom of the machine was it seemed like the CPU wasn't running. It was running. It was acting exactly like an Apple II if you take the CPU out. You were getting a checkerboard pattern on the screen, and that was it. Right? And so I decided we're going to start at the CPU, gosh darn it, and I'm going to work my way out. So right at the CPU, I started testing continuity from the CPU pins to the output buffers, right? Whatever. And by luck, my what the heck is that thing called? It's a multimeter. My multimeter probe happened to touch two address pins at the same time and was still beeping. And like, oh, there's my epiphany. I look over the board, don't find anything. I take the CPU out. I take the chip out. I take the socket out of the board, and under the socket, right where I had been heating it before, where it delaminated, one of the vias, because it delaminated, it popped apart and sprayed solder under the socket, and happened to connect that via to an address line right next to it that just happened to not have a tiny bit of solder mask on it. So for a month, I've been tracing down a problem underneath the socket.
It's really crazy because when it sprayed all that solder under the socket, Joe was like, it's cool. We can still cuddle.
Like aliens all over, right?
Yeah. I hate it, like those little like hidden problems and stuff. Like that's so many people try like repairs on things, like Joe especially, where you will desolder something or you solder something in, and like it's like, wait a minute, something isn't going 100% right, and then you find like an errant solder ball somewhere that just materialized out of like nothingness to wreck your project. So that's really good that you found that, Joe. That's a real diet right kind of moment there,
dude.
Like
it's
full saccharin. Like we're not even pretending.
Yeah,
like we put right on the can, this will give you cancer,
dude.
It is the most baller of all these sodas you can buy.
We have modern science. We have tubes and sacks and things, and I don't need that bladder. It's fine.
See, that's your new thing on the boob. It's got tubes and sacks. Poor Joe. He can't keep stepping in this pit.
Dude, I am the king of embarrassing myself. Anyway, moving on.
Tube, sacks, and knobs. Wow.
Yeah,
This
tube, sacks, and knobs. That was actually the name of Joe's band in high school.
Yeah.
It was an electronics themed band. It was kind of but they played all classical music. It was weird.
But seriously though, the original problem with this stupid Franklin was that it worked perfectly fine. See, another reason why I was able to get it for cheap is because the guy thought it was broken. The guy who sold it, because he didn't know you have to have the keyboard plugged into it for it to function correctly, because the Franklin, that machine is weird. But anyway, the original problem was that I put my test board, my test 512, into this machine, and it would fail tests.
Mm-hmm.
And the original failed tests too. I'm like, they can't both be bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that my test 512 worked because Javier has one. Because he's got one of these machines. He has the test board. I sent it to him. It worked fine. Like, I know it works. Javier shipped me his board. I tested my board in his machine, so to speak, and it worked. So I'm like, okay, so it's my machine, so whatever. So I go through all this stuff. I broke this and did that under socket thing, trying to diagnose that problem. I fixed that under socket problem, and now the machine boots now, but cards still test bad. So I didn't get any closer to fixing that friggin' problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I did figure it out eventually. So it's good.
I like the look on Sean's face. Like this sounds like a timeshare pitch.
Yeah.
To Sean. And he keeps repeating
over and see, because I have a Franklin, and I forgot which one it was.
But Joe brings up a good point though. It's if you're there to buy something and it's broke, and you look at it and you know how to fix it, you don't fix it in front of the owner. Don't fix it in front of the owner. You take it home, you fix it at your house.
Yep.
Because they just want to sell it.
It's broken,
they don't,
right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see it booting up run? Nah, I'm sure I can make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Plug it in, turn it on.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. So I just wanted to complain about that. Back to Maypro.
Mm-hmm. If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Why do they call it Kaypro?
Interesting question. So the Kaypro was a spin-off company from Nonlinear Systems. Nonlinear Systems was founded by Alan Kay. Therefore, the Kaypro, the professional machine by whatever.
So is that after J-Pro?
Before L Pro.
Yeah. I like Joe's story, but it's really because there was a lady of the night who used to service the people at that company whose name was Kay. She's very professional about her.
She was a pro.
Yeah, she's just a pro. So that's forever immortalized.
Javier is actually here. Hi, Javier.
Hey guys, sorry for the delay.
No problem.
How are you feeling?
It's all right.
Did you miss me? Hey,
Yeah, we love you. You know we do.
yeah, my poor dog's gonna have to get a little operation.
Oh.
Hopefully he'll be okay.
We thought you were the one who had the operation. You were in the stream with a cone and everything. Were you okay?
I just took it out.
Gotcha.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, long time.
Hey, we had a lot of fun on BCF.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, it was great seeing you there.
Yeah, it was great, and he kept one of my the retro bright candle. Oh, you have it? Or?
I was telling them actually, the Kaypro that I had set up there. You remember?
Yeah.
Had the problems, and I took it apart and was trying to figure it out, and then it didn't start working until you gave me that candle, and I put it next to the Kaypro, and I put the Kaypro back together, booted right into CPM.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be faster. You had this one. Or You know,
V1. Ron V1.
That one looks like he needs to poop, but it still works.
Well, the beauty of the Kaypros, there's so much room inside. I can put all 3 candles in there.
I saw it. And by the way, you guys saw the place that they had over there. He has his transparent Mac, the transparent Apple II. Everybody was so excited about them. You know, they were beautiful, just beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Javier, didn't you have are you working on a candle for Rudy?
What? A candle? What?
A
For
candle?
Rudy? Yeah. I haven't printed it. Sorry. I'm still working it.
Mm-hmm.
It's working
So-
progress.
We saw a beta version of this,
Mm-hmm.
and
It needs a rewrite.
so whether or not that's going to be the final version, I don't know.
We'll think about it.
Interesting.
So Javier, since you're on here, why don't you talk about a little about what's going on in your world, and we'll get people caught up on what's going on with you.
Yeah, quickly. And I don't have my show notes, but I was going to talk about. I got. What do I got? Oh, look what I got.
Ooh, it's green.
I got this thanks to MacFX. He gave me
Ooh.
one of these, so I'm gonna have to do another one. What am I gonna do about it? You know.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I'm working on the ZX Spectrum.
Ooh.
I'm gonna, I got this one for a while, and I'm gonna work on the conversion that Rudy gave me
A tiny comp.
because it doesn't have a video out, but it does have RF out.
There you go.
Yeah,
Tiny.
that one. Small, tiny. I don't have it around here, but yeah. So I'm gonna work on that one. This is it. And that's one of my projects. And what else? Nothing, because I was at BCF and it was amazing over there. I was like a kid in a candy store. It was
Javier,
amazing.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
That green Mac case. Are you gonna retrobite it to make it clear?
Of course. Yeah, that's weird, man. Yeah, it's really weird.
I think Adam from Adam's Apple would really like that because you're going to build a Hulkintosh, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, Adam McGee also he has one
Mhm.
already. So yep,
Oh yeah. Mhm.
I'm gonna be competing with them. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Are you going to put lights in it like
Of course.
this one here?
Yep. But you know, because of my origins, I'm gonna be able to pimp it. I'm not gonna go forward.
We already made the prostitution jokes for this episode. We are-
Gabriel, yeah. So are you gonna lower it? Are you gonna cut the top and lower it like 3 inches?
All right. Yeah, and it's gonna bounce.
Or put a smaller screen. You know?
Oh my god, no! Oh, that's so bad.
When you turn on, it goes.
La cucaracha, of course. It has to be.
I'll buy one.
So yeah. So and that's it. And one of the things that I was very happy is that I've been doing on my I don't have to show you too much, but on my store I've been doing some little things.
Mhm.
So
Tease. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
so that's new things. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on those pretty soon. I did I fixed a lot of joysticks also, and they weren't working, but now they're working. And other than that, nothing, man. You know, just happy about BCF. I was all crazy last week.
I really enjoyed your video. It was I think it was really good. Like you went to like both areas and hung out in the maker space and just gave people a really good idea of kind of what's going on there. So I hope it drives more people to the event, bring cash in the future, because I the pandemic almost killed. Yes, those are your boobs, Javier.
Oh.
The pandemic almost killed all of these events.
Right. And thankfully, everybody was very respectful and everybody was very nice. And, you know, there was no issues at all with nothing. So I saw a couple of good old friends, you know, Becky. She was, I couldn't even say hello to her because she was always surrounded by people, you know, hey, Becky, we will love you.
Rebecca
And then
Hyman, specifically, right?
I also what?
Burger Becky, right?
That's right, Burger Becky.
Yeah, the one who made like all those super awesome games in the 1980s and 90s.
Yeah, she stole the show. Everybody wanted to hear about her.
Super celebrity.
Yep.
Yeah, her Facebook's really, or I'm sorry, her Twitter is really great. If you don't follow Rebecca Heineman, you should definitely follow her on Twitter. She posts a lot of great stuff.
And I also saw Jason Scott, and as always, he was wearing his top hat and his fun stuff. And he had a lot. We had just a couple of words because he's a celebrity, and I had to make a line to just talk to him. Hey, I'm here. And but he's cool. He's always been cool. So and I met new celebrities, like somebody that I'm looking at right now. Yeah, exactly. don't hide. Come over here. And those guys, I'm telling you, man. Next year, I'm gonna be in their place, man, because it was the coolest, the most fun place in all over.
Yeah, the videos were pretty good. Looked like a lot of fun. Everybody had a good time.
My jaw, it was just bursting because I was laughing so much. I was like, oh my god, too good.
Hey, Javier, Eric's got a question for you about which Mother's polishing company.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I asked. No, it's the paste, the one that I use. That was a funny question. They asked me in Twitter about which paste I use for polishing, and that's the best polishing compound that I've used. It's called Mother's. That's a weird name, but I'm not gonna go there.
That's for cars.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I use it on my head. Works pretty good too.
Hey,
Look at that shine. Look. Wow.
Oh, man.
Can't get that for $1.
Yeah, you guys. But yeah, it's a great one. I use it for the clear plastics. I actually I got. Oops, I broke something, but I fixed this one. It was really scratched.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I this was with the Mother's paste. I just buff it.
So what you're saying is you use the paste to rub your ball.
Whoa.
Basically.
There we go. More Kaypro jokes.
I will say Javier is 100% correct, because with all of my PowerBook projects, I just started with the stock PowerBook ball, and when I applied the Mothers and I just kept like repeated coats and repeated use with, you kind of switch between like a buffing towel and then like a cleaning towel. I made it all the way down to the base plastic. So you can succeed. You just have to
Keep rubbing it.
You just keep rubbing it, and eventually something will happen.
Yeah. Ask Aladdin.
That's true.
Javier, you had a session about joysticks and stuff or something like that.
Yeah, I had a couple of
From balls to joysticks, here's Javier.
No, it was fun. I showed them about how to fix joysticks, and it was pretty good, pretty interesting. And then I did another one for Retro Bride, but it was in the afternoon, so I couldn't do the hands-on. So we got a good lecture, so it was good.
I think Sean didn't like that. He looks like he's on.
Yeah, he was like, no, he's running.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah.
It's not Kaypro related.
Poor Sean. Yeah.
So
Sean's entire family was attacked by a rogue joystick, and it's very it's very triggering button for him. So he
heard about joysticks and immediately he just like whip.
No, that's it. Somebody's gonna bring up like, oh, the Mach CH is the best.
You say no, I'm outie.
Javier, are you planning to get a Kaypro at any point in the future?
I saw Sean's Kaypro.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I saw Sean's Kaypro, and I saw a bunch of old computers over there with like, oh, amazing. So I am like, I gotta convince the wife that let me get a Kaypro. Yeah, it's either that or go to the gym and use it over there for a while and then bring it here. Heavy as hell.
You just need two of them and a broom handle.
That's right. Yeah.
Let's
missed
get
it,
physical.
Eric just picked one up like it was a candy. Just
I know. I'm not joking. Like a sign spinner. Just
don't mess with him, man. He's gonna break your Kaypro or anything.
Jeez.
I would love to see somebody come out with a SCSI interface for the Kaypro. You know, because like I need
because I can't sell enough blue scuzzies to these Mac stinkers. I need a whole new platform.
New blue SCSI updates are great because now they work on more machines. We only say they work on Macs, but they're working on some other stuff. So,
well, you know, my question is, when is there going to be a blue MFM? That's what I want.
Wow, I like that.
Have you seen that new program that came for the Mac? That it's for creating blue scuzzies.
Jockey.
That one, okay, it's news to me. Sorry, that's very good.
Yep. Let me see if I can find it. I will drop it in the chat for everybody.
Talking about blue scuzzies. Does the Kaypro have any external monitor ports on the back?
No.
I don't know. Let me look at mine.
Not.
Hold on.
It doesn't have
It does.
So no RGB or composite out or anything. You're stuck with the screen.
That's you.
No, but I mean, they have the built-in screen. Then usually there wasn't a purpose for them to have the external port, but it is basically just a CBBS composite style generated signal. In theory, you could just plug it if you make a little jack. You could plug in any external monitor you want, and it will, again, in theory, function.
So you could use
tonight.
like a tiny comp.
Well, yeah, maybe, but the tiny comp wouldn't work. I would love for that to work, but it wouldn't do anything because it's no RF, man. The internal's not TV. The internal's just
not the tiny comp isn't using RF either. It's before the RF modulator, right?
Yeah, but the machine's already generating composite.
Oh, then you just put a port in the back and off you go.
Just put it because you want to.
I know you're trying to get ways to sell the tiny comp. I get it. You know, pick up what you're putting down. But yes, and I agree with VHS on this. We do need a modern MFMRL substitute that doesn't cost a house payment. There are functions, there are options out there, but they are insane. Yeah. VHF, do you know what the prices are on that? You mentioned it to me in the past. I don't remember. Let me know. But yeah,
the price is a Kaypro.
So yeah, it's a Kaypro. Just attach it and believe.
Yeah, I don't know why people try to overcharge for those parts. You know, they should the other way, just like blue SCSI, try to make it easier, more affordable to everybody.
$400.
There it is.
400. You know, it's
insane. The specific reason why the MFM, this DREM, is expensive is because it was developed by a professional engineering company as a replacement to go in like CNC machines or some weird application where we've spent $400,000 on this machine. We're not going to let it fail because of an $80 hard drive type.
It's not just a bunch of nerds trying to play Dark Castle on their Macs.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some price there. And that's a question though, is like, can somebody want to try to like buy one of those and reverse engineer it and figure out, I mean, not copy it correctly, but to figure out the magic sauce for some of the timing, the magic, the way it does things, and make an inexpensive Arduino Teensy 2 or something style.
Whatever like that, yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So that's the question. And then again, on top of that, then is there the market there for that to
enough people that need it. These
Macs, there's like 1 billion of them, and there's 1 billion of different things out there with SCSI capability.
Mm-hmm.
So that there's a market there. But MFM and RLL, there's like 100 different MFM and RLL formats. Is it S506? Is it one of the other ones that I know? There's a second one that I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm old. Or is it one of their weird like internal custom formats that XYZ Drive company decided to make? You know, so that's really the question. So
yeah, I think also
Put
What's
me
that?
down for one. The market's at least one.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make it 2.
All right. We're making progress.
So you're at 3.
Seriously,
Come
though,
on, let's get a
I
3.
do have back here somewhere. I do have the schematics for both the Kaypro Universal board and the data sheet for the NCR SCSI chip, because I was contemplating creating a SCSI interface for the Kaypro at some point.
Yes, please.
That would be
Nice.
very interesting.
How can I push that along?
So if you want to take over
1995.
making my blue SCSI so that I have time to do development projects,
Well, hey, I just ordered my first kit from you, by the way, Joe. So I'm going to put it together. We'll see if it explodes or not.
yes.
I think the real solution to get Joe moving on this is just to go directly to Ohio and just start throwing bricks through windows until Joe ships the product.
Yeah, I was going to say stand outside of his house with a boombox like an 80s movie.
Yeah. In your eyes.
Lonely eyes.
All I need is a miracle.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Stand outside his house with a big Kaypro over your head.
Yeah,
We're waiting, Joe.
keeping it basic. Hooked up to a car battery.
Have a T-shirt that says "We're waiting, Joe."
That's right.
How scuzzy is it? Seriously though, yeah. The upside with the Kaypros is that because there's CPM, there's code and documentation out there. And many of the CPMs have, or not CPMs, many of the Kaypros have a bus connector where the actual internal system bus is expanded out the side to support hard drives.
Joe,
But
wouldn't it be similar?
it's just the Z80 bus.
Wouldn't it be similar to the RC 2014?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Very
Because
same.
they have adapters for that. I mean, I have what's it called? I have the floppy drive and the SD card adapter. Yeah, mine's built.
And so, and that's out there too. And the RC 2014 has got, it uses CPM, uses Z80. It's got mass storage options.
Yeah.
So one could theoretically take that project. It wouldn't necessarily be SCSI, but it would be some sort of project where you're taking that code and modifying it to Maypro, sticking it in there. The only downside is there's like 4 different types of Kaypros. They all use 4 different boards. Their memory address layouts or the I/O port layouts are all different, so they use different. Yeah.
Hey, what about FujiNet? Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
That's another one that's news for me.
What's that?
I guess I live under a cave because I went over there and everybody was talking about FujiNet, and I was like, "Oh, what's this? What's this?" And I did a little clip about it, but I was so excited, man, because I didn't knew about you can connect over the web and download stuff.
I like to think of it as the World Wide Web for old 8-bits.
I think it's pretty. What's that? Memory?
That's a memory card adapter for the RC 2014.
Wow.
So you could use this as a hard drive
Mhm.
or multiple floppy images, for example. So just sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
You're good.
you could convert something like this, for the
Exactly.
edge connectors that would maybe adapt, plug into the Kaypro.
Again, because it's basically already developed in the Cape, all the CPM machines are pretty much all the same,
Yeah.
Mhm.
with the exception of their memory mapping as to where their hardware devices are. So it's a factor of getting that BIOS, that CPM BIOS, and reverse engineering it to figure out where to plug it in, modify it so that it knows how to get to that, and then it'll just magically work. So, yeah. Where and how I'm going to do that, I don't know. I want to.
Get to work, Joe.
Yep.
But
Hurry up.
I've got a Titan 3 I've got to do. I've got a review on the Yellowstone. I've got to put the boards on my website. I have to finish my Datanetics keyboard encoder. I'm looking at my to-do list here.
I know. Before you get too far away, Joe.
Frankly,
Before you get too far away, Joe. Joe, come back, Joe. Before you get too far away, Joe. On the Yellowstone card, let me ask you this. I've seen a couple people post on Twitter about using it in the Apple IIgs.
yes.
What would be the point of that?
I don't know.
Fun.
I have no. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Of course,
Like,
that
it's
terrible 3-letter word in our hobby, but I just
Yeah.
I saw somebody and they were like, finally, SmartPort comes to the 2GS, and I was
And
like,
it already has
It's
it.
been already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what? So does that also do like Lyron kind of stuff as well, though?
I'm not 100% certain on that.
Okay.
I don't.
I was
believe
gonna say if it did Lyron stuff, then it'd be like, yeah, okay, all right.
I have to double check that. Ooh, and Eric Helgeson just dropped in. He's like, I found a bug in Yellowstone. Just talked to Steve today about it. Yes.
For something like this,
It's a big forest. You're probably gonna find a few.
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't think
And then Adam, yeah, it does Lyron. So there's
Okay, there you go. Okay, great.
So
How much is this thing? While we're talking about Kaypro stuff, how much is the Yellowstone? While we're pitching other people's projects,
It's about 150.
150. That's not too
Yeah.
bad. What's a Lyron cost?
Good question. I don't know. I haven't
200.
Is there really like a point in 2022 to have like 1.44 megabyte floppies on a 2GS?
Not really.
Yeah, it's
Especially-
neat.
like, I mean, I love the Yellowstone. I'm supporting the project, but
Mhm.
when you can get for a similar price, you can get a microdrive turbo
Mhm.
or a booty.
Yeah,
Or-
I would say W drive and a booty is kind of like
Yeah.
the setup for a 2GS in my brain. Although there's a lot of people with CFFAs and monocles that want to tell me otherwise. They're like, I understand that you poor people can't afford like a real solution for your 2GS. Yeah, I don't buy in on that.
Yeah, I got a 1.4 drive from Apple Engineering. I finally got the driver for it for the GS. Oh, and I could put a floppy and I could format it. I couldn't do anything
Now
else.
what do you do?
I cannot read it that in other computer that doesn't have the same drive. So
Yeah.
useless.
Yeah. A guy who was a teacher at my high school, who's a chemistry teacher, had like a really amazing 2GS setup way back in the day. It was like Transwarp, and he had like a Lyron card, and he had like the SCSI, whatever, like the Vulcan. So it had like the drive, all that stuff like inside. Very, very neat. But the second he got a Mac, he just never looked back. It was like, wow, this is a really cool setup that you have. And then he was like, yeah, I never touch it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think he even had
That's an interesting Kaypro story. Yes, thank you, Ron.
Yes.
yes, thank you. Yeah. I got a whole bunch of them.
I know.
Cool.
So we need to find out at that WCF how many people saw my stickers there.
Yeah, well, it was.
I heard someone was going around putting stickers on people's bumpers and on the back of their heads and all kinds of stuff, and I don't even have one.
I know.
John,
Javier just gave them all away.
No. Sean knows how to really use my stickers. Tell them, Sean.
Just the
Oh yeah,
weakest
well
link in our chain.
the sticker on top of one of the chips fell off in my Kaypro, so I cut out Jav's face and stuck that on there.
Finally, my stickers were word for something.
Mhm. They're perfect for blocking photons.
Blocking
Nice.
photos. Yeah.
Nice.
Right. That and the
Low
candle.
energy visible photons.
You need your next round of stickers, Javier. You need to
That's
put
right.
like 100% UV protection, like just like on the rim of the
The whole
sticker or
thing,
something.
yeah.
You're gonna put so they can cut here to protect your ROMs.
Right. I like that.
Yes.
Wall protection.
Done.
You can call it Trojan or something
Oh man. No.
for your ROM protection.
No.
No, but I'm gonna say tested by the pros. That's it. I'm gonna put in the back. Tested
Yeah.
by the
Mechanically tested. Those robots at that factory must have high job satisfaction. I'm just saying.
Oh man.
Yeah, but all our stickers were over there in their tables, and they were gone.
All Javier did is he went there and he just put them in a pile on a table, the free table, and just walked away and just let the magic happen. Just let the magic
ever
happen.
do that.
They are stuck to like Jack in the Box, drive-through window speakers. They're everywhere now.
But they say, "Oh, you cannot stick anything on the walls," and they go, "Oh man."
So, Sean, can we expect before the end of May we'll have some Kaypro stickers
Yeah, Maypro sticker would be pretty cool
to get the word out that May is Kaypro?
Well, I mean,
May is K.
There's someone in this call here today who's pretty good at designing stickers, so I don't know.
Oh.
Well, hold on, Sean. Javier's here too, so let's not. I don't want to. Let's not start anything. Just saying.
You can figure it out amongst yourselves.
Trying to stay on his good side, man.
Well, you need a Kaypro sticker.
Take the Pro.
You need a Kaypro sticker. We need a Marcintosh sticker. There's all kinds of stickers to make.
Yeah, we do need. Standout Stickers does pretty good work. I mean, I don't get paid anything to say it. I mean, just free merchandise. So.
And
but
now
we did.
Like this is a paid promoted video.
No, we don't get anything. Those guys. In fact, they charge me more if I bring up that I ordered anything from them.
Oh, it's from that wrong guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like a lot of girls in high school. You said you were going to keep this quiet. and I was like, listen, your mom was going to find out sooner or later.
Mothers.
Oh man,
What you got there, Sean?
What did I talk over somebody? I do that all the time.
All right.
Yeah.
Seeing what Sean has there.
Yeah.
So
What is that, Sean?
From my Apple RGB 2GS monitor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh.
And it has the value, not the values, the locations on the back too, right?
Yeah, it's the best feature. I don't know why they didn't put it in all of their advertisements for the 2GS, but the neck board actually has the stuff on the back of it to say which position each thing is.
Mm-hmm.
If I was Steve Jobs, I would have put that in all of their ads.
Yeah.
They should have done
I'd have been
all
like,
the computers too, not just the monitors.
If you only electrocute yourself trying to repair one monitor this year, make sure it's the Apple Color Composite 2.
Well, you have to ground it somehow. Don't do
Right.
Javier, you missed it, but I got my Alienware probe.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh.
And you can go for Halloween as an Obi-Wan or
Oh my
that's
god.
some serious power, man.
Oh god. Oh god.
I think who has one of those? There's somebody. I think maybe it's Adrian or somebody has one of those and hooked a multimeter up to it or something, or had the camera set where you could watch the spike kind of happen when it discharged the display. I was like, wow, that's really neat.
It's also good, like if you're doing, you're trying to figure out what's going on, you're not getting the proper voltages. At least that way, it's a safer way to actually, leave the monitor on and see what's going on, and voltage wise. But yeah, it's a great tool for not losing your health.
Arcade people, there is are probably familiar with the real Bob Roberts, who passed away. I think passed away a couple of years ago, unless he's alive, in which case I'm sorry, Mr. Roberts. But I bought this like a million years ago off their like not even website. It was like you just had to email them. But yeah, it's a clippy clip and like an insulated custom made screwdriver. Yeah. And you just get under the cap on those arcade machines and just hope for the best.
Custom made.
Yeah, hope for the best is the right word.
You just hope for the best. But I love this thing. I've used it for years. The real Bob Roberts.
I think my wander's bigger than yours, though.
Oh my god!
It's okay, man. It's the motion of the photons.
So. This one is neat because it's got a thin plate that can go under the rubber cone, and then this actually.
I'm glad you said cone.
Yeah, and it goes right into the You can touch the metal parts. easier.
Anode.
Yeah, it's thin, right?
Yeah. Just sneaks in there.
Less pain.
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyway,
The CRT intruder. You know, normally a product like that, you think you'd have to buy it in the men's room of a gas station, but no. Rudy was able to find one on eBay.
Roswell.
Oh, Roswell that ends well. Okay.
Joe's been holding that one all night. Like a little kid doing the pee-pee dance. He was like, somebody's got to bring up Roswell. God, I missed the first opportunity when Rudy said it. He's got to say it again, right?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
So,
Sean, we hope you come back again. This isn't
Poor Sean, you know.
thanks for being our guest and being in the background and not having a lot to say because we haven't had anything to ask you.
Sean just has this powerful presence. He just has this powerful presence on any show. He lends a level of legitimacy that can typically only be found by somebody at Sean's level.
I just try to throw zingers out every now and then. That's really my whole shtick.
That works.
Sorry, I was doing your hand thing poorly. So with that said, we're at an hour and a half, which is usually about the end of this stream. And tonight's stream, again, our guest was Sean with Action Retro. He became our guest 15 minutes before we went live. And we were supposed to be talking about Maypro and Kaypros, but we went way off the rails, and half of us weren't here when we started. But that's just how sometimes it happens. Sometimes we get caught rustling up the cattle and don't get back to the ranch for dinner bell, but that's how that is.
Yeah. Sometimes all the cows have metal disease and you've got to go out and replace their magnets. It just happens. It's the life of a modern rancher. I'm just saying. It's like all the pheasants had trichinosis again. How? I don't know.
Oh, shameless self-promotion. Sean, tell everybody about you, even though everybody here already knows who you are.
Hey, I'm that guy from that YouTube channel, Action Retro, where I, this kind of thing, and I do like this thing here. Yeah. I recently installed Mac OS inside of Windows 2000 and Windows 2000 inside of Mac OS.
Excellent video.
That was great, man.
Yeah, that's really good. It's very cool.
Thanks.
I loved it.
How do you give it 3 thumbs up?
Whatever.
Rudy.
I'm Rudy from Rudy's Retro Intel. I will be having a video hopefully soon regarding this Commodore PET monitor repair. It's not really it's more like an adjustment than a repair because it actually works, but the video goes like this, and it's like I'm tired of doing this to read. And just like that, it simulated earthquake. And I'm waiting for my prototypes boards to come in from the manufacturer still. Something's going on with delivery of stuff. I don't know. The USPS is really, I don't know if they're walking the stuff to the people now or what's going on, but I'm finding it hard. I'm finding like it takes, what took 2 weeks is taking more than a month to come to me now. And I'm just not that far north of Buffalo. So
that's the thing with being on watch lists. They got to open every box. Every box.
Yeah. That's about it.
Ron.
Oh, hi, everyone. It's Ron from... Oh, wait. Hold on. You got to be queued up when you do these things. Hi, everybody. It's Ron from Ron. Did that actually show? Did it show this time? Oh, darn. Yeah, what a real shame. But Ron from Ron's Computer Videos. You can find me at Ron's Comp Vids on the Twitters, or I'm also on YouTube as well. But thank you for everybody who has been so kind in the next month with Patreon, or the last month with Patreon stuff. It's been really great making some kind of custom content for people, and I hope to meet some of you in person at K-Fest in July. Is it June? It's in June. It's in July. Yeah, Don't show up for K-Fest in June. If you do, it's just going to be Javier there, and he will talk your ear off. So show up in June to K-Fest, and maybe I'll meet you there.
Kaypro Fest.
Yes, yeah, and buy a Kaypro too, I guess. Javier, what are you up to?
I'm the traveler joystick repairer. So I just came back from BCF, and I want to show. I want to talk about 8-bit tees. Oh yeah, 8-bit tees, the best t-shirts. And I'm doing new hats. And this is actually, people love this one. It's so brand new that I should take it out. So 8-bit tees, we got Apple 2GS WAS edition cap, and I love it. So and also I'm Hubmaster at YouTube. I just released a bunch of videos. They're pretty bad, but at least you have fun looking at me doing.
Don't say that. They're really great. I really enjoy your content, especially when like the microphone turns off, like halfway through the video, and it's
when I'm not talking is the best part. But anyway, yeah, I had some sound problems and issues, but hey, it's part of the fun. Yeah. So yeah, follow me, please.
Like everything else, you just need to send it to me. I'll fix it for you.
Yeah. That's right. I'm just trying to break something, and I haven't been able to. But don't worry, I will. Yeah. I'm pretty good at that.
Javier, since we're pitching,
right there.
Since we're pitching 8-bit tees here, I wanted to, or we're plugging 8-bit tee. Those are your boobs. We get it.
No, the shirt.
So
the shirt you get.
But hey, I wanted to pitch an idea to you that I think may be a big seller for your website. It's a Mac Plus hat, but when you look inside, it has signatures inside.
Or stickers inside.
No, it's got signatures of all the people that made, because that's how many of those did they make? They didn't make very many of those.
None.
Listen, I know what I have. Yeah. And it's this hat, and it's worth $50. I talked to Tim Apple on the phone, and he said this is a collector's item.
You know what? What you're talking about.
I do.
I want to know how much Javier paid Sean to wear the same T-shirt tonight.
That's right.
Well, actually, technically, they're different T-shirts. See, I have this one, and he has that one, so they're not actually the same.
Wow, I think you're fooling me.
You guys are there, man.
They use the time turner. They send it back and forth to each other.
Both show up in the exact same shirt at the same time.
Yeah,
like literally, like Siamese that shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wore Joe's shirt tonight because when I was lucky enough to get a tour of Joe Central.
You found one?
He was like, "Hey, can I give you a shirt?" And I said, "That sounds amazing." And he goes, "What do you wear?" And I said, "Like probably a 4X or something like that," because I'm like 6.5 feet tall by like 350. Yeah, like it's basically me and King Kong Bundy, like trying to buy the last suit at Penny's.
You're
at any given time. Tall? I'm 6'4". 6'4".
You look much taller on YouTube.
Tall dude.
I know. I look exactly like this tall on YouTube.
Exactly.
So I show up and Joe is like, hey, like, what size? And I'm like, oh, like a 4X. And he goes, I don't have anything that big, and he hands me a medium. So I was able to slide it up my arm, but I figure that would just too many questions to answer. So
you just cut it out and then just put tape on top of your existing T-shirt.
I thought I might just eat it because then it becomes part of me.
Just wear it like a cape. Just like tie it here.
Yeah, it look like Nibbler. That'd be great.
Nibbler. That's great.
Joe, what are you working on, Joe?
I love you guys.
When my home planet was destroyed, go ahead, Joe.
No, it's fine. It's all good. Hi, my name is Joe Strohsnyder of Joe's Computer Museum on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter at Museum Joe. You can also go to my Patreon and just look for Joe's Computer Museum on Patreon. You can drop $1 in the cup and help support this wonderful Joe's Computer Museum back here, which helps me have time and resources to build things like these for you and to reverse engineer keyboard chips for old Apple IIs and stuff like that. Your proceeds help that happen. In addition, you can go to jcm-1.com and get Blue Scuzzies or cool t-shirts like this or nifty mugs like this drinking mug. Again, proceeds to help me and my little operation continue to thrive. Thank you all very much.
And by the way, at BCF, I was wearing your hat, and everybody was asking me where it was from.
Yes, thank you. Very special hat. It says WAS on the front, and it has hexadecimal code on the back.
Did they think you were Joe?
Oh no! Talking about that, you guys gotta ask
Joe, you sound different in person.
about something that happened at BCF, and Steve's not around, isn't he?
I know what we're going to talk about.
All right, we gotta talk to him. We gotta talk to him about it because somebody went and he was wearing Ron's T-shirt, and somebody went to him and said, "Are you Ron?" And he was very mad at him. So
And it's very obvious. It's if you watch the channel, it's like Steve and I, it's like Muppets Take Manhattan. If you ever seen Muppets Take Manhattan, it's like it's Fozzie and Kermit. They're like, we're twins.
and that's what Steve said. Do I look like Ron?
Yes, there we go. Tubes of sacks and noms and thingaboobs.
Steve had this wonderful idea.
If only we could get some more tabs open.
Dude, that's how I don't use favorites. I use tabs. I've got the RAM, I've got the CPU, I use it.
Sure. I just never have it update your thing and then forget your tabs. But fun fact about Joe that people don't really know. Joe, what's your last name again?
Strohsnyder.
Yeah, Joe failed kindergarten twice because he couldn't spell his last name.
Kept spelling it backwards for some reason. Red and swords.
Yeah, it kept dispelling him back to his original dimension. It was weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Joe.
Quick thing for having your 8-bit tees. You should make a T-shirt that has a plastic clear piece that goes on top, and then no, it's like a pocket, and then you get you get your Apple cardboard piece, whatever. You stick it inside, and then you take it out. Tomorrow you put your Macintosh. In May you put the Kaypro one in.
Be like the PowerBook 1400 of T-shirts.
That's right.
All right. I think it's time we wrap things up. I mean, we're getting to the point where we're boring Sean, where he's getting back to repairing stuff.
Counting my capacitors.
14, 15. Oh, I dropped on the floor. 1, 2.
Got to start over.
All righty. Well,
one more thing before we go, Joe. One more thing.
Yeah.
I think everybody who's watching our shows, let us know if you want to see someone specific on the channel, or if you want to be on a guest on the channel. That'd be great. Just let us know in the comments, email, talk to one of us, any one of us, and let's get you on the show. Or if you have ideas for future shows, let us know.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, if you're saying you don't want Ron on the show, we can't do that.
Well, that's
We have to keep Ron. Sorry.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I pay the rent around here.
That's
you guys
right.
keep. Hey, by the way, when I put things in the fridge and I put my name on it, I mean that means that those are my things. I mean, I don't know who drank the cat's ear medicine, but that's on you, I guess.
I think it was Javier. That's why he had to go to the vet tonight.
That's why I was at the
yeah.
Oh, man. Just 10 more minutes. All right. Well, that's been Retro Repair Roundup episode 12. Again, thank you, Sean, for being on the show at the last minute.
It was a lot of fun talking somewhat about Kaypros, and then lots of double entendres. So yeah,
going off the rails and listening to Ron's wonderful humor. This has been Rudy, Ron, Javier, Joe, and Sean with Retro Repair Roundup. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Remember, smash that like button or lasso that like button, like we like to say, or
I've been working on that all week.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time. Our next episode will be May 15th, 2022. See you, folks. Bye.